Welcome to the Art of Faith podcast by Granite Creek Studios. I'm Pastor Joshua Kapczynski, and in this podcast, we talk about anything that deals with creativity, art, and faith, and general advice on making life a little bit better. And so, if you'd like to learn more about what we're doing here on the podcast and in the studio, please give us a like and a follow. That will help us tremendously. In today's podcast, it is a special episode on the art of engagement. So, if you are recently engaged, congratulations, and if I am officiating your ceremony, I'm looking forward to your big day, and I've got some tips and bits of advice that will make this engagement season go smoothly, hopefully avoid some unnecessary drama, and just to encourage you to embrace this moment and to have some fun, because there is an art to being engaged, and you will learn there is an art to being married as well. All right, so my first bit of advice, it seems really simple, but it is so powerful, and that is to get on the same page, to literally get on the same page with who does what with everyday tasks and everyday life. Now, chances are you're getting married, you're engaged, you're in love, and probably everything is going smoothly, and you just kind of learned how to work together and it's smooth. And hardly anybody ever puts their to-do list down and says who does what. I promise you, if you literally get on the same page with who takes out the trash, who's going to pay the bills, who's going to mow the yard, who's going to put gas in the tank, who's going to cook dinner, who's going to do dishes, someday who is going to discipline the kids if you're going to have kids some days. If you write all these things out, I'll show you an example. This is an example from a marriage assessment that I do with couples. It is who is expected to do what you have not agreed on. Let's say you haven't, I don't know who takes out the trash. We both kind of do, but who's responsible for it? So it will tell you on what you're not decided upon, and then it will tell you what you're clear on. And it's just like, if you get it all on the same page, I promise you, in your future, it will save you from some very frustrating headaches and unnecessary fights. Furthermore, since you are engaged, you've got some pretty big decisions coming down the pike, and I want to encourage you to also get on the same page with your wedding ceremony to-do list. Now, guys, I know that the wedding ceremony is all about your bride, and it should be. It's her special day. She's going to be wearing the dress. She's going to be looking good, and you are along for the ride. And whenever she asks about anything, your answer is yes. Okay, so you're like, yeah, this is her special day. It's all about the bride on the wedding day. However, she does want you involved. Trust me, she wants your feedback. She wants your input. She wants you to help in the wedding ceremony process. So here's a little habit that you guys can build now that should hopefully carry over into your marriage. So maybe literally get on the same page with who is doing what and planning your marriage ceremony. Who's gonna order the flowers? Who's going to handle the marriage license? Who's going to send out the invitations? And so, guys, trust me, your fiance wants you involved in this process. Even if she says, "Honey, I've got this, no worries," she wants you interested and involved. A little bit of advice. Okay, my second tip is it's a mindset shift. So the first one is very practical. The second one is going to require a bit of a paradigm shift on how you think and how you live life. As a single person, you've been used to living life on your own terms. You learned how to navigate life and you've got your own bank account and you got your own schedule and your calendar. Your life is your own, and then you fell in love and you begin to merge these two lives, your lives together, and you become a partner. So I'm gonna encourage you to take it to the next level in shifting the mindset from me to we. And a lot of couples do have a hard time doing this. Now, let me give you a practical example. When you enter into your marriage, after you say I do, and after your honeymoon, again, you're going to come back to everyday real life. And you need to begin to think of, this is no longer my bank account. This is now our bank accounts. His bills are now my bills. Or technically, his bills are now our bills. And this is the tough one, everybody. Uh, her/his credit card debt has now become our credit card debt. And so the principle in this is that you are no longer two individuals. The Bible says that a man shall leave his father and mother and his individuality, and he shall become united with his wife. And this is the key: the two shall become one flesh. So you're becoming one flesh, and you're losing your individual identity to some degree. And you've got to be okay with that, because it's no longer about I. You are now becoming, and if you do it right, you'll become an unstoppable team. So, um, finances is the best way to do it. Like, these are our finances. Guys, it is no longer your paycheck, your income. It is our paycheck, our income. And it's a tough mindset to make. But if you do this, if you become more if you fall into more of a team mindset, your communication will be better, your conflicts will decrease, and you'll have a stronger vision for your future together. And couples that do this are less likely to end in divorce, because they're sacrificing for the greater good, which is the marriage. All right, tip number 3 is you need to learn how to fight fair and fight with set boundaries. Uh, Disagreements, arguments, fights, they are unavoidable in any relationship, in any marriage. And again, maybe everything is rosy for you guys right now, but I guarantee someday along the line, you will have a major disagreement. And yeah, I don't care who the couple is. Not only will there be disagreements, you guys will even hurt and wound each other. And so that's just human nature. And so you need to have a little bit of grace for that. And then when you fight, you do want to be transparent, but you also want to fight fair, meaning that right now in your engagement, think about, okay, how do we respond, and how do we treat, and what language do we use when we get into an argument with each other? Now, obviously, you don't want to be cussing each other out, nor do you want to dig up past dirt, some issue that you've figured out and gotten past years ago. You don't want to resurrect old arguments. You want to be in the moment, fighting fair with the new arguments. And as you will learn, you will know your spouse better and better each and every year, and you will know their strengths and you will know their weaknesses. And it is really unfair when you fight to bring up a weak point in somebody's character or personality, some dig that you can use to intentionally hurt. So that's one area. This next bit on fighting fair in the context of boundaries is vitally important. When my wife, Mako, and I were engaged, the best bit of advice that probably literally saved our marriage, um, when we were in premarital counseling, was this. When you guys do get into a heated argument, your natural instinct is going to be to turn to those that you are closest to for counsel, advice, or just to vent. And so, when you need to turn to somebody for counsel, here's the advice: uh, choose somebody that is objective, that is maybe even a little distance from you and your relationship. And who you don't want to turn to is a close family member or even a very, very close friend. And here's why. So you and your spouse, you get into this big argument, and your wife or your husband, they've hurt your feelings, and you're really wounded inside, and your natural inclination is to get the phone, pick it up, and to call mom and dad, and then you're just going to vent to mom and dad about how horrible and how mean your spouse has been to you. And you're just basically going to emotionally vomit all over your parents or all over your close friend, and they're going to hear all of these horrible things about your spouse. And the people that are closest to you, family members, moms and dads, brothers, sisters, best friends, um, they're going to take your side. They're going to be team Josh or team Mako. Just put your name in there. Your parents are on your team for the most part, and they're going to take your side, and they're going to feel that offense with you, for you, through you, and they too will be angry at your spouse. They too will be offended at your spouse. And yeah, they're not going to like what happened in the situation. They will they will not be objective. They will always take your side because you're daddy's little girl or your dad's best friend. So they're going to take your side. Now, what will happen eventually? Eventually, again, everybody gets into a fight, and in healthy relationships, everybody reconciles, everybody makes up. And so you'll kiss and make up someday. You might do some marriage counseling, and you'll work your stuff out, you'll figure it out, and you're going to be back in love. You will learn the secret of forgiveness and reconciliation. You have to learn how to forgive in a relationship. So you're going to learn that, and you will do that. You'll kiss and make up. You'll forgive and move on. But your parents won't. Your brothers and sisters, they're not going to forgive your spouse for hurting your feelings, for hurting daddy's little girl, for uh, betraying uh, his brother. They're not going to forget that stuff. And so they're going to lock away those things in their memory. And where you will have forgiven your spouse, your brother, your best friend, your parents, they might not. And that will make Thanksgiving dinner very awkward. So, put that boundary in your mind whenever you get emotionally heated or wounded by your fiance, or someday soon your spouse. Say, okay, I'm really hurt and wounded. Who can I turn to? This is really important. Who can I turn to for objective, practical advice? Who can I vent to that is not emotionally invested in the relationship, and who will take my side? And that one's a tough one. So if you could just practice a little discipline when you're hurt on who to share your offense to. In short, um, mom and dad are not your marriage counselors. Your brother is not your marriage counselor. Your sister is not your marriage counselor. They're not, your best friend's not your marriage counselor. So don't put that upon them, because they can't process in an objective way. All right. Number three, tip number three. Oh, am I on number three or number four? I think I'm on number four. Uh, Number four is to seek wise counsel before you say I do. Now, although you don't want to give all the dirty details to mom and dad about all the dysfunctions in your relationship with your fiance or with your spouse, What you do want to do is that you do want to turn to mom and dad, brothers and sisters who are married, people that are closest to you for counsel, for actually specifically feedback on your relationship. Now, a lot of times we don't see what is necessarily wrong with our relationship with our fiance, with our fiance. So we don't necessarily notice that maybe there's some things that are red flags. We're in love. We don't know that we got problems, but those that are closest to us do. So now you don't want to, again, air all your dirty laundry to your parents. But what you do want to do, you do want to say, uh, "Mom and Dad, can you give me a little uh, feedback or advice on how to be married?" And they'll give you the general stuff. Again, you don't want to go into the details. And this is the other thing that you want to do with moms and dads and best friends and brothers and sisters, the people that are closest to you. You do want to say, um, is there anything in my relationship with so and so that you think needs to be addressed, or that that would make us better and healthier? So a lot of times people will closest to us, and if they love us, they'll tell us the truth. They might say, "Yeah, you guys are a little too clingy. You guys are a little too affectionate in public." And so if they love you, they'll give you some healthy feedback that won't hurt your feelings, that you can use to move forward and on. So it is really important that you get some good advice on how to have a healthy relationship, A, from the people that are closest from you, and then two, maybe seek some other advice somewhere else. All right. Bonus, bonus tip. Um, invest in marriage counseling. Uh, I have been married coming up on 25 years. And marriage is a roller coaster. There's ups and there's downs, there's good times, there's bad times. There'll be moments and seasons where you're like, what in the world did I do this for? And you wouldn't enter into a brand new business. You wouldn't make major investments without proper research and maintenance. Um, we all have physical bodies. We all go to doctors for checkups. And the same type of mentality works for a relationship. Uh, Even if things are going smoothly, it's always a good idea to seek a counselor and get a little advice. And in your, if I am officiating your wedding ceremony, uh, you can always call me and we can do marriage counseling, pre marriage counseling, and that will give you an objective view of how to move forward in your relationship. And here's my final thought on the art of being engaged is that, yeah, this can be a very fast paced, stressful, hectic season in your life, and it's going to go fast. And I want to encourage you that even though you got to get the invitations out and you got to figure out your guest list and who to add, who to kick off, you got to figure out, how much alcohol you're going to serve at your reception. You got a lot going on, and you might forget to connect with your fiance. And so I want to encourage you to embrace the season, even embrace the fast paced nature of this. And probably the most important thing is to not try your hardest not to get stressed out, but enjoy this season. Have fun with this season. If part of your planning falls apart, that doesn't mean that you have to fall apart. You can laugh about the florist canceling on you at the last minute, and you can punt and you can dig something up somewhere else. Go to Trader Joe's, buy a bunch of flowers. It will all be okay. The point is, you're going to be married soon, and you're going to start a brand new chapter of your lives. And in this last season of you being a single person and you entering into a new adventure of life, You just want to have fun and enjoy the moment. And so don't let the stress get under your skin. Have fun. You're going to be married soon. So, with that, that's my art of engagement for you. And I hope that helps you in your process. God bless you. And if I'm officiating your wedding, I'll see you at the altar soon. Peace.